What is up, man? It is your boy, Alexander Michaelides, and I'm here with...
Ealef Cuts.
Yes, sir, and welcome to episode 9? 9?
I think it's 9.
Welcome to episode 9 of In the Cut from the Chair to the Community. Now, we have two very, very special guests, actually interstate guests. I feel like we bougie in Hollywood now. We got people coming down, which is pretty dope. We have the Trybe boys, Bailey and Sam. If y'all want to introduce yourselves one by one and just say a little bit about yourself.
What's good? My name is Bailey, co-founder of the Trybe app, I guess, and yeah, sweet to have on the podcast.
Sweet.
Yeah, my name's Sam. Like Bailey, both graduated school last year and started up Trybe, and it's been a journey. So yeah,
100%. We're excited to delve into what Trybe is, who you guys are, what you do. But before that, you know how it is. We got to guess, so you got to hit him with it.
Definitely. I mean, being in a barber studio and you guys having a background of barbering of some sort, which we'll delve into, I want to ask you guys, what do you reckon is your craziest or weirdest barber experience you guys have had?
Oh, I think there's one that springs to mind that actually directly involves both of us. Right, so December 2022, Random Park, just set the scene a bit.
Yeah.
Me and my mate, who's also his mate, we find ourselves a pair of pube shavers, and we go down to the park and he loses a bet, and then he has to get a haircut from us, and we keep accidentally pushing it up higher and higher and try to straighten out the back of his head, and this ends up like
way up here.
It ended up being a Tommy Shelby cut.
It is so bad. It was so bad. He has a beanie on for a few weeks after that. Oh my days.
And like the next year or so, going to the barber, they'll be like, "Wait, who did your last cut, bro?" It was terrible, bro. Worst experience of my life. I was genuinely scared to go home after that. I remember I walked home from the park, and then I walked in, and then I just walked upstairs. My dad was like, well, no, my mum was like, "Wait, what did you do, bro?" And then my dad just comes up and just starts laughing at me, bro. It was,
That's crazy. When the parents laugh at you, you know it's it's bad. If the parents are laughing at you too, that's nuts. So that was what, 2022?
Yeah.
2020.
A while ago, he's recovered, but
I've recovered.
Have you recovered since? Have you played it safe ever since you got a cut? Now what do you ask for?
Somehow I've actually gone for the same barber a few times. I don't know how, but he's gotten better, to be fair. I kind of grew with him, you know. It was like at the start of his career, and I've grown with him. But
so you have faith in it. That's crazy.
I do. To be fair, now I go to Caleb Money Cuts.
Money Cuts?
Yeah.
Shout out Money
yeah,
Cuts.
he's good as. But yeah, this guy just storms off, bro. Like me and old mate just sat at the park, like laughing and giggling and shit.
Ever since then, he had a light bulb moment that he's going to start Trybe after that.
That might be the origin of it. That's crazy. But nah, man, I respect you for still staying with him and growing with him, because it's tough. What about you? Do you have your go-to barber? Who's your go-to?
That's Caleb as well.
Yeah, Money Cuts.
Ever since we got into this, find Caleb, and bro, he's so good. Like, it's a bit of a drive, but it's worth it. Like, I go out there maybe every second Friday. And
every 2 weeks? What about you? How often you get a cut?
Probably every 2 weeks as well.
What about you?
Every week.
Yeah, because you do it to yourself. Me, bro, I can't get a freaking booking. My barber's too busy, you know? But about the same. But no, that's dope. Well, that's a good way to kind of break the ice a little bit. But we're keen to get into it, man. So before, we kind of delve into all the nitty gritty. What is Trybe? Yeah. What is that for those who don't know listening?
So Trybe is basically a new booking software for private barbers, freelance barbers. Recently launched only in the past 2 months, and we've seen great uptake. We've got about 15 barbers down here in Melbourne on the map. So we're nationwide, and we're just a booking software that's completely free for service providers, or barbers.
Yeah, and I guess one of the big benefits of Trybe is unlike any of the competitors, we actually bring customers straight to you, all based around a map. Customers that don't know a private barber, a freelance barber, they can find you. So yes, that was the goal, because that was the problem that we faced when we were in school. We were like, everyone else has a private barber, we want one, but we have to go to the shop down the road.
Yeah. You only know if you know. I feel like barbers is a different culture. It's different. It's kind of almost intimidating. Like, if you don't know, how do you start? Do you just DM him? Do I go to him? Yeah. So that's dope. But where did this idea come from? I feel like you both are pretty young. How old are you guys again?
I'm 18.
18?
Just turned 19.
18, 19, like teenagers. Yeah. Damn, we're not teenagers, but we're old. That's great. I know, right? I feel so old right now. But where did this idea kind of stem from?
Right. So the story is, as Sam said, we found a lot of our mates were like, bro, going to all these private barbers. We're like, shit, we don't know any private barbers. So I was like, let's just put them on a map. Let's make that system. Let's solve our own issue, really. I had the idea in class. I was just sitting in class bored, not listening to the teacher.
Standard.
And then I go to Sammy at lunch break, and he's like, all right, let's run it. So we go through that process a bit. We meet with a few mentors, you could say, people who we'd look up to in the space, and it didn't get shot down. It didn't get turned away and be like, no, that's a stupid idea. So that was our first step to kind of taking it beyond just playground chat. Like, and then what did we do after that? We kind of went to our first agency to get prototypes developed, and that's when it became more than just an idea. It became an actual startup, a business. And of course, being just graduated last year, we didn't really have much time to put our attention to it during school. So, and dad and mum were on my back being like, put that aside, do your final exams, graduate, and then we'll go for the Trybe. But that's how it came about. And we were actually originally called Cuts, C-U-T-Z.
Cuts.
But we got told that's tacky and to scrap it. So yeah, scrap that one, and here we are today.
It's a good way to put it. How did you come up with the name Trybe then? How did that come about?
We're just spitballing, to be honest. Like, we're like, what's kind of like a word that kind of sums up like, you know, a community. Because like we coming into the space kind of pretty fresh, you know, we're looking in from like a different angle to people that have been in the industry for a while. And it's kind of like, it seems very tight knit. Like it is a community, and that's why we kind of thought Trybe would be a good name for it.
100%. No ChatGPT, or was that? I ain't gonna hold you. Quick side note. While we were thinking of a name for in the car, he's laughing. We were putting just names into ChatGPT, bro, and then we finally were like, I think Aj Ealef thought of in the car. So I respect you guys for your originality. But damn, man, there's a lot to kind of touch on in the origin story, especially being so young. So like, obviously you had a need for a business idea, and it stemmed. And then once you had that idea and you went to your boy about it, what was next? Because I feel like it's a very overwhelming process, but what was the actual like legitimate next thing you did, right? Because you're talking about prototypes and all this kind of stuff. To a listener at home who's, you know, 18, 19, you know, how could you kind of simplify it? I feel like
there's no one size fits all, I think, for taking it beyond just an idea. But I'd say what really kickstarted this into something serious was in January, we heard about an upcoming expo for barbers in the Gold Coast. I don't know if either of you guys are aware. So my dad, who I told the idea to, he kind of involved himself for a little bit, just trying to help us out and guide us through the business world, if you may. He just decided to pick up the phone and ring the name that was attached to the expo, and a guy called Fraser Forsey picks up, and we end up meeting Fraser when we're in Brisbane, and he's just in love with the idea from first. Like, he was actually the bloke who turned down the name Cuts. Like, he's like, I love all of this. Like, the industry needs this, but I can't be doing
name's
Cuts.
dead.
Like, it's like, bro, some toddler name with a little Z at the end. So I was like, damn. And I was trying to stick true to my guns on Cuts, but everyone kind of was like, nah. Yeah. So as far as taking something from an idea to something tangible, I would say, A, get told if it's shit or waste of time. Yep. Get that validation that you need. B, reach out to people in the industry. Like, it's the best thing you can do is actually reach out to people and see what their opinions are, what they think they need. Because me and Sam weren't barbers, so like we were just guessing what you guys need. So making contact with an industry leader like Fraser Forsey, who owns 4 barbers, owns these expos, is great for us. And having him on board is amazing. He guides us through. He provides us with these barbers to tell us. So just getting a foothold in your industry, putting yourself in there and getting that validation would be the best.
Yeah, I'd say one of the other things as well is with that expo coming up, it kind of put a date for us, you know, in our head. It's like, oh, shit, we want to launch at this expo. It's like, it'd be the perfect spot, you know. It's like all the barbers are there. So we kind of were like, shit, all right, we need to get this app underway. You know, we need to start getting it built, because like if you know software, it can take like a year more to build like an app. But we reached out to someone who was kind of a family friend. My mum kind of knew his family. He works down in Canberra in Sydney.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, right, I can do it in 3 months. So we're like, all right. What you want? We're like, yeah, we went down that path, and it was pretty awesome, and he was great. You know, we worked pretty closely with him. Ultimately, it wasn't the product that was probably good enough for the market yet. Yeah. And we found that out pretty quickly, and it was chill because we talked to a lot of the barbers there. We made good connections with the barbers, so like we don't really regret it. You know, we met so many people that if we didn't go, we wouldn't have those connections with them. So it was great and taught us a lot. And now we refine the product, and it's in market, and it's doing well. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So finding a niche that's kind of unfamiliar to you guys, how was it to find the confidence to be able to reach out to those people that can give you a hand?
just do it. Like, confidence or not, you got to put yourself there, or else you're never going to become anything. Like, what good are you being just a schoolboy with no private barbering experience trying to portray his opinions on private barbering and what they need through his app? Like, it'd be nothing without going to these barbers, talking to them. So I would say it's not so much confidence, it's just common sense. You have to do it. Have to do it.
So you feel as though like when your back's against the wall and it's like, well, damn, if I don't do it, like my ideas aren't going to come to life. So you just kind of have to.
Like, you have no choice.
What was it like being in those situations where, like you said, having deadlines and you know, things necessarily weren't in your favor to get to just do it? Was it confronting at first and now it's easier, or?
It was confronting because like there's expectations and stuff that you have to kind of meet, and there's so much in the software space, especially like just getting through like App Store review, all those processes, something that we obviously coming in fresh into like the software space as well. It was like, we didn't expect like, you know, Apple needed 2 weeks to be able to review something. So there's so many stressful moments where we're like, is it even going to get out in time for the expo? And we're
that was mad. I think it got approved 8 p.m. the night before the expo starts.
That's crazy. What was the lead up and what was the feeling to it before you're like, damn, is this going to go through?
We were stressing hard because we were like, bro, what good is this if no one can download it? Like what are they going to do? Just sit and talk to us at the bloody booth. But yeah, seeing that notification come through and then finally downloading it on your phone for the first time. Like, of course, we have development things that we had the app before, but seeing it on the App Store is such a cool moment. And it was such a relief because of that time crunch that we had.
So how you guys spoke about community before in helping you guys find the name for Trybe. What was that like then at the expo? Could you find that sort of sense of community when you were at the booth and having other barbers and other people in the industry there?
Yeah, it was awesome because I think the few weeks kind of leading up to the expo, we'd actually built up quite a bit of hype about it. Like a lot of people in the industry had kind of started to hear about us. I think the announcement of Fraser kind of being a part of our team was pretty big. And so when people came in, you know, they'd come up to us, see what we're about. And it was really cool because a special memory for me was on day 2 when we walked in at the start of the day. It's like we came in like dapping up like Jimmy the hairdresser and stuff. Like these guys knew us and we were like, oh, this is awesome. So yeah, we felt like we were almost like part of this community like on day 2 of the expo. So it was pretty awesome. Yeah,
that's pretty surreal. And I feel like that's what barbering does, and that's why like for us it was so important to have something centered around barbering because like we spoke about in previous episodes, like the community you build in the chair. And then shout out you boys for like having that and then just expanding on it and being fearless in it. And one thing I kind of wanted to touch on, you said, and this is something we've spoken about a little bit, you said that obviously your dad wanted you to finish year 12 and your exams and whatnot, but then he's also calling people from the expo and looking at numbers. So what was that like to kind of have the support from your parents and, you know, your mum knowing something in Canva and stuff like that? So how was that to have them in your corner backing you?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely instrumental to where we are today, having my dad in our back pocket helping us, because he's not only had these people guide us, he's also got us investment from friends and family. We would be nothing without him, really. Like we always do go back to that, like without having someone of more authority behind you that kind of paints an image that, okay, it's an actual business. Because a lot of these people get turned away when they see just 2 18-year-olds, as you would. I'm not going to trust you with my business. Like if I was Ealef, like why would I see these 2 18-year-olds and be like, okay, I'm going to switch from Square, a $1 billion company, to these 2 18-year-olds who are just, they aren't even barbers.
Kids,
so having a bit of authority, a bit of like a grey hair exec look in the team is always helpful with establishing connections.
And I think he's like kind of set a good foundation for us to kind of just take over, and now like we kind of just run the full show ourselves, and we've kind of put ourselves in a position now that we're like we know what we're doing now, and it's good because we actually feel independent now, so it's good.
So how long did that take? Because I feel like there'd be a bunch of viewers out there saying, "Damn, like I got this idea in my head and I wanna create it, I wanna make it happen," but then they're also thinking, "Damn, this is gonna take me forever, or I'm just never gonna do it." So can you sort of put that into practice for them, and how can you make it happen? How long can it take?
I always try. I don't remember the exact date the idea sprang into my mind. I always try to go back to that date. I believe it was around May 2023. I say if you're not in school, if you don't have these obligations that you can't really get around, even if you are in school, you should do it. But if your parents are, you know, like mine, they want you to focus on your studies, of course, you should do that. Because these things don't work out 99% of the time. Like we're nowhere near working out yet. Like we're still on the come up, hopefully. But I say you got to do it, or else someone else is going to do it. Because that's what we've found. We've been texted by so many people, blatant copies of the idea. Oh, I had this idea in August. Like they were months away. We had this one company that was a month away from release when we released, and we were like, dude, we didn't even know about them. Like, there's so many people that are doing the exact same thing as you. So if you have an idea, it could be original. Most likely it's not, and most likely someone's already doing it or someone's about to start doing it. So you need to get in there straight away.
And I'd say the big advantage we have over these other competitors is that we have a big industry kind of presence with some big names, and I think that's really helped us kind of get a foothold over these other like kind of smaller upcoming businesses.
Damn, that kind of just like put a lot of things into perspective when you said like someone already has the idea, but it's almost like a race to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So do you think it's good for people to have that mentality like, all right, you have this, but there's so many other people that might have this as well, so you kind of got to push to get there?
Yeah, definitely. And you cannot get intimidated when you see a post about a copycat. You can't let that affect you, because like it's just not the right thing to do. Like, sure, there might be someone else in your lane, but bro, you just got to put your foot on the gas and get in front of them. Like, you cannot waste time caring about the fact that there's someone else copying you in your industry, because that's just only going to delay you further.
Yeah, I think you just always got to remember to stick in your own lane. If you do that right, then you'll actually get somewhere.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I mean, let's talk about Trybe. So what is Trybe, and what, you know, because a lot of people are probably wondering what it really does. So what does Trybe provide to the customer? What does Trybe provide to the barbers? What is Trybe?
Well, so foremost for customers, Trybe is a platform that you can actually find a barber that meets your needs. It's not just, you know, you're not hoping for the best when you pull up to the barber shop. You don't know who you're going to get, you know. I'd pull up and it's like, is it going to be the grey haired dude? Is it going to be the, you know, you never know. Yeah. But we're trying to get that clarity into barbering where it's like, you know who you're going to get before you book. And that's really the experience we're after, is like the personalized experience, I guess. And it's like the big thing for us is promoting individualism, I'd say. Is like each barber is their own person, and we want to be able to highlight that kind of through the app. And so for barbers, we've got like quite an elaborate kind of profile where they can, you know, obviously have their banners, they have all their posts, and it's only something we tend to build on like as we get further and further along. Like we're trying to become something so much more than just a booking system. And I think that's what's going to change the industry.
I'd say the worst word to describe us is a booking system. Like, we don't want to be tied to that. We want to be a tribe, a community, more than a tribe. We've been limited to a booking system because of funding and development. You can't start up and be the best and be beyond what you need to be. So we are a minimal viable product in the sense that we are a booking system right now. We will forever be a booking system, but we want to do so much more that goes beyond just that. Because have you ever had Square pull up, knock on your door, drop you flyers? Like, have you ever had Square DM you? Like we're trying to be engaged with this community, host giveaways, host events. Like, I want it to be so much more down the line. Like, I want there to be a Trybe award show, annual award show. I want there to be all these things. I want gamification into the app, so barbers have a leaderboard per region, and if you're at the top of that leaderboard at the end of the month, you're getting a free JRL kit sent out by us. I want profile anthems. I want to be able to click on Ealef's profile and his favorite song is playing whilst I'm booking. Like, I want all these things, but of course you're limited in early days. 101, however, Trybe is a new booking software for freelance barbers that is completely free for the service provider, and a great way for organic clients to find them and for them to build their client base and grow their business ultimately. That's
pretty surreal, man. I feel like you can tell you have a lot of youthfulness, a lot of energy behind you, and you guys are already thinking, what's next, and chasing that. And I guess something that you touched on that I've been really interested in, wanting to know, like, how did you guys prioritize what's needed now, taking into account the funding, taking into account the time? Like, obviously you want it all, but you can't have it all right now, right? Yeah. So what was that kind of process like, fleshing out let's say like the first kind of version or volume of what Trybe is right now that's to the market?
Yeah, it was really tough, to be honest, because obviously being young, we have like these minds that kind of go everywhere. We're like, we wanted everything, but obviously it had to get very limited. And I think that was, to be honest, slightly our downfall for our first release. We had to cut out too many kind of features that we kind of overlooked as absolute necessities, because when we talked to the people that were like prototyping and stuff for us, they were like, you really need to cut this down to like its bare bones. And I guess that was kind of almost our downfall, because like it just wasn't good enough to be in market, and it is tough to cut out that kind of stuff.
But on that, we've been told by everyone you need to be embarrassed of your first app, and like embarrassed is quite frankly what we were. Like, we were getting contacted by barbers 2 days after, like, oh, is this feature in there? And we'd be like, damn, how do we not think of that? Like, our biggest oversight, notifications. I'm the product manager, if you may. Having never developed an app, I just assumed notifications were in every app. But you have to build out notifications as well. So, like, we're going through the motions, we're learning. Like, so, yeah, we probably still get it wrong, like 100%. What we put in first. But how we go about deciding what we're putting first and second is by talking to these barbers, by having these barbers on our side in our ear saying, oh, I need this, I want this. So, for example, cash payments is massive in this industry. A lot of these barbers only take cash, or their clients only want to pay cash. We didn't facilitate that at first, and as we speak, there's a developer back in Brisbane writing out the code to implement cash payments hopefully next week. So it's just about listening and acting upon those.
Damn, man, I'm freaking inspired. I want to go do some more stuff. And like, I'm inspired with how you guys are kind of approaching it and taking it all in your stride. And obviously, there's been setbacks. And as you said, you know, if you're not embarrassed by your first app, what are you doing, right? So, but how is that to take all that feedback on board? How is that to be 18, 19-year-old, like, young people, bro? You're all the kids. Some people don't even know what they want to do. And you're out here developing and putting into action apps. And it's pretty insane. You're all flying to do a party. You got things in the way. You can talk about your developer back home. Like, this is surreal stuff. Like, I'm freaking gassed just hearing it. And I think it was so special to, you know, also be part of this journey with you guys. So, yeah, what's that like when you're faced with setbacks? How do you get back on the horse and then do it again and then do it again?
Well, I guess in business, the first thing is, like, I don't think your age matters. Like, you can't just hide behind an 18-year-old face and expect to get far in business, because if you do that, you know, you're never going to get anywhere, because you're just going to keep on setting these kind of boundaries for yourself. And as soon as you take away those mental kind of boundaries, those barriers, then you'll be able to succeed. So
yeah, it's about no excuses. Like, sure, we're 18, but like, we've already killed off copycat apps who have been developed by 30-year-olds. Like, it's just a number, bro. Like, I can do what I want and we'll do it. But about facing setbacks and feedback is, like, you got to accept it. Like, you don't want to hear that your product is shit, but you're going to be a egotistical, arrogant bloke with a shit app, or you're going to be a humble, reserved and listening billion-dollar app owner. So, like, which one do you want to be, you know?
Dude, just last night, we were staying in this backpackers accommodation, and this Italian bloke was like, I think app shit. I was like, all right,
cool.
So, yeah, no.
He's like, me personally, I think it is a shit, though. Because apparently private barbering is not a thing back in Italy. Like, you wouldn't see this in Italy anywhere, apparently. But, I mean, each to their own. I mean, we just laugh with him. He's a good bloke. Fair enough, move on.
Hey, man, it's just a story to tell on the pod. That's all it is.
I mean, like, it's crazy how, you know, you guys are saying, you know, over there in Italy, according to this guy, it doesn't exist. But here you obviously see that there's such a huge market for it. So where do you see, you know, the app going and the industry going in the future?
Well, I think the first thing is the US industry. If you look over there, obviously, like, that's like the big market. Yep. You know, the US is massive. If you get to the US, you've made it. But the thing about the US industry is it's a lot more dominated by freelance barbers. I'd say it's like more like 80% freelancers, like people that like hire chairs in the shop and stuff. Whereas in Australia, it's probably about 30%, but it is increasing. And that's kind of what we've noticed, is that it's a big cultural difference, but it is building, and we're trying to kind of jump on this train and hopefully kind of capture the trend as it comes through. So
yeah, grow with it, because that's what we've been told by Phrase, all these industry experts is, bro, like, they're worried about the shop environment, because they're like, bro, everyone wants to cut out of their own home now. Everyone wants a place like this where they can build their own client. Because why would I cut out of your shop and lose 40% of my profit just because it's your shop? Fair enough. But, like, I'm going to do that at home and take 100%. Like,
That's credit to you guys for being able to see the trends and whatnot. Do you think that you were always had like a business mind, would you say? Or is this something you kind of developed over time and you acted on it?
I'd say we've always been pretty interested. I remember probably like the week before Bailey kind of came to me at lunchtime with it, I think I'd sent him a reel, or maybe you sent me an Instagram
I think you
reel.
sent me that reel.
Yeah, and it was just like, when trying to think of a business idea, think of like two different like apps or industries and just like merge them together and see what happens.
Yeah, so like say like Uber and Pet Barn, I don't know, like just merge two industries. So I was like, okay, Uber and barbering, and then it's like Barber Maps, and then that's how it steamrolled. So
that's crazy. You
like,
dropping gems.
If that guy didn't send me this reel, bro, like I might not even know. I probably wouldn't even know, bro, because like it is so crazy to me. That's like one thing that I'm very conscious about, is like the fact that I remember vividly. It was a split second thought. Okay, Barber Maps. I wrote it down on my palm in chapel and just waited for the period to be over. But like if that thought didn't pop into your head, bro, the trajectory of my life like
Change.
would be so different. I'm not saying I've done anything amazing, but like it's surreal to me that like that 1 second leads me here now.
100%. But with that being said, you acted on it.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people get thoughts and get ideas, and it's like, and it's a fleeting moment. But you wrote it down, could have rubbed it off on your pants, but you acted on it, bro. So kudos to you for being able to do that.
Yeah, I think, I'd say definitely we're both business-minded individuals. Like I've got a notes list. Whenever an idea will pop into my head, I'll just open up, put it in there, and close it for now because my head's in Trybe. But that's like the bank where I can go if this goes all the way up or all the way down.
That's dope.
I'd say that's one thing we really have in common though with the barbers we're working with, you know, and that get on Trybe is that, you know, we wanted to start our own business and like work for ourselves. You know, Ealef, you work for yourself, you're your own boss, and like I guess that's kind of where our passions kind of align, you know.
Definitely. What was the sort of first, sort of most important thing that sort of sparked this idea? Let's say maybe it was sort of a trait that you've had growing up, or just what was it for you guys?
Always being business minded, and then I don't know, just hunger too.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna lie, money is a motivator. Like
For sure.
Lots of people don't want to say that. Of course, money is a motivator for everyone.
sure.
Like you're here out of your home studio for money, I'd assume, and you'd enjoy it. But it's a passion project as much as it is for money. Like we love this journey, but having that desire to become something more than just, you know, go through uni, go through that. It's not so much a escape the rat race situation. It's just like I want to do that. I don't want to be capped at a salary. I want to earn based off my input.
Yeah.
Based off just to.
For me, to be honest, it was like I've just done like 12 years of education. I don't want to have to go to uni and, you know, go through another like 5 years.
100%.
And I was like, I want to be able to, you know, work for myself. And this was a really good opportunity for us to do that. So
100%. And I feel like obviously with all of us being business owners and whatnot, it's that there is times there's trials and tribulations. But what was the most kind of difficult thing to wrap your head around, I guess, with no experience? Because none of us had any business experience. Like, I have my degree, but I don't feel like it even counts because I've learned more in the heart doing this. Like you guys learned more. You learned more in this year than doing 4 or 5 years.
I like to say. Like I would back myself that I've learned more than doing a business.
100%.
Nothing beats going through the motions. But hardest thing that like
you guys are talking about raising funds, and you're talking about pitching, and you're talking about development. Like these are concepts, and I'm like, damn, like this is nuts.
yeah, you just got to get ready to get shot down
Yeah.
100,000 we've definitely been shot down at least 250 times for investment.
For investment.
Doesn't matter.
Like the first pitch deck we sent out was embarrassing. Asking for $1 million, have no product, no anything. Like, we were silly. We were embarrassed. We thought it was just that easy. Okay, we have a cool idea. Give us $1 million.
Hey, I told them they were silly, bro, and they all laughed at me.
Yeah. Now
so
he
please
laughs, but-
take my name off that. So.
That's crazy. You asked for $1 million.
Like,
Who do we think we were, bro?
crazy, disgusting, bro. And that was with the Cuts name and everything, bro.
Oh, that's associated to that, bro. It's different. It's different.
To be fair, I don't know how we didn't get shot down even quicker than that. Like, you know, they actually still entertained us in terms of like actually wrote out a response. To, like,
I mean,
you know, like,
no one's just gonna be a idiot and not respond. Like they have their due diligence to do.
Yeah.
But like a lot of VC firms have a 100% like a guarantee will reply. So like, you know, but using that was probably one of our best moves because we got called idiots. We got called like, oh, you're dreaming, but constructively, and they gave us the feedback we needed to hear to go back with better pitch decks, better movements, and kind of directed us from a successful standpoint as to, okay, you guys are obviously very young, the business is in its infancy. Like, here's what the best steps forward are based off their experience with all other companies. So that's been great for us, I'd say. Just getting shot down is one of the best things that can happen.
So having a business that's, as you said, in its infancy and still only, you know, quite young, very young, it's got a very big future ahead of it. What do you think is, you know, some of the most important traits to carry with your business to allow it to flourish and to grow?
As in for the business or for us as individuals?
For the business and for you to be able to grow the business yourself.
You guys are the business. You know what I mean? Like if it's not for you guys, it doesn't grow.
I think for the business, it's just consistency.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
You can't just like go radio silent for a few days on social media. You know, you got to keep on going. You can't just like stop doing what you have to do each day because as soon as you do that, you know, then it's it'll fall apart. But if you start doing just being consistent and like obviously like. I'm not really in a position to be like saying that, but it's just what I've learned from like everyone's like, you know, you just got to be consistent with what you do, and the results will come. So.
Yeah, everyone that we talk to talks about that. There's that one day where it just goes bang, like that one day. So that's what keeps me going. Is like, hey, is tomorrow that day? You know, am I gonna wake up tomorrow and boom, see hundreds more barber accounts downloaded and all that? So yeah, as Sam said, consistency is the best value to have as a business.
I agree. I mean, like, I feel inspired, you know, and I've heard you guys mention consistency and talking about that sort of, that mindset, that mentality of just keep going, just do it. Has there ever been a time where you felt sort of disheartened and felt that, damn, like, I don't think it's going to work?
Deleting the app.
It used to be like every other day, like a few months back. It'd be, because I'm very susceptible. If the most minor thing goes wrong, like a barber who we thought was on our side drops off, I'm like, shit, like, I get so involved in that. I get my head wrapped around that one little flaw, and then Sammy's more like, bro, chill. Like, he kind of pulls my head out the fire.
Bro, they'll come back. They always come back.
So
that's dope,
dude. Yeah. Oh, dude, doubts would fill my mind every other day. Like, because I'm putting a lot of my life into this. I'm like, I used to be like, dude, am I doing it all for nothing? Like, am I wasting my time here? So yeah, I was always very susceptible to the slightest thing going wrong and my head getting off track. But I'd say post hard launch, so post June, I've just been like, you got to accept the bad days are going to happen. The flaws are going to happen. The mistakes are going to happen, and just kind of continue. It's part of it. Like, there's no changing it.
100%. So do you feel like because of that you've been able to build resiliency and kind of take that, not just in business, but in life? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say so, definitely.
100%. And now what's the dynamic, I'm interested, between you two? Like, have you all ever, gone to like a disagreement? How do you guys go about if you guys don't have the same idea or things of that nature? Because that's tough, because for us, Ealef and I, we're our own boss. Whatever I say, cool. Whatever he says, cool. Like, no one's going to tell him how to cut hair. No one's going to tell me to do what I do. So what's it like for you two?
I guess we've got different roles within the business, and I think us particularly within the business, we kind of respect it, and just we don't fight too much, to be honest. Like, obviously there's been times in the business where people are at each other's throats, like that's just kind of how it is.
Tears, screams, everything.
But yeah, it's just like you get through it though. Like, I think both of us have kind of got short memory with that. We forget about it like the next day, and it's fine. You keep moving on with it. Yeah,
me and Sam have a very common goal in mind. So whilst my opinion might differ from others in the business, me and Sam at the least, I can't remember a time where we've actually fought. And whether that's because we're like best mates from high school or because we have that shared view, it doesn't seem to come between us. I think he's very understanding of, like, I'll probably be more reactive in scenarios, but this guy's like one of the most relaxed guys. Like, if everyone's fighting, he's just sitting there, bro. Like, not saying a word. If me and someone else are fighting, bro, he'll get up and leave and just walk off.
Just like Steve's, bro. Like, it happens a lot, so it's just I get sick of it, and I'll come back, talk to them, and then you move on with it. It's easy. It always like moves on, and it always ends up being okay. So
I feel like sometimes you got to get the fights out, like disagreements. You got to snap and kind of go at each other. I wouldn't like the environment if it was all like sugar coated, like oh bro, like that's okay, but like
doesn't work.
Nah, bro.
Doesn't
just
work.
Go at each other's throat and make up like an hour later.
Yeah. I can appreciate, how you guys, it's a team effort for you guys. You guys do it together. How important do you think that, working alongside someone who's, like-minded, as you said, is going to help benefit your business? Do you find that, do you guys work better really together, or is it, better on your own sort of thing and then meet in the middle, or how does it work for you guys?
I'd say people have different jobs that all lead to a common goal. And like, if you do that and you separate your jobs, then I think that's kind of where you'll get success, instead of having, people doing this, working really specifically on the same thing. I think as long as you're all leading to one common goal and it's a clear common goal, then I think it's all good.
I would say like-minded is good, but just as good would be having someone who's polar opposite to you. So you're seeing both sides of the spectrum. Otherwise, me and him could both have that like-minded thought, but everyone else in the world thinks, dude, that shit.
Forget everything else.
You need to have a different opinion, and that is one of the other blokes we have in the business. He kind of provides that other view most of the time, and then we kind of rebound back and forth, and
100%. How did you guys go about kind of expansion and making sure the right people are on board? Because you don't just want anyone part of the tribe, right? You want to make sure that they're the same as you, and that you respect them and what they can bring to the table. So what was that kind of process like?
I think we don't just have anyone in our inner circle of this business. There's quite a unofficial process where we'll kind of just feel them out for a month or so, and then we'll have them more formally join us and whatnot and work alongside us. Just recently, we've built out our development team, so it's great the kind of connections you find yourself having. Like, I had a mate who graduated with a 99 ATAR, so like top tier kid. He went into computer development. I reached out, we got coffee, and bang, he's on the team working. And so you got to know the people. Like, you can't just hop into bed with anyone. Feeling them out, and then, I mean, yeah, it's just bringing on the right people at the right time and keeping them accountable.
He's like, yo, he's chill, bro. He's chilling. Is filling them out a gut feeling? Is it like just going a vibe? Like, what's that kind of process like?
I'd say, like, we've got a few wrong sometimes.
Ooh.
Yeah, not to say anything, but...
No, that's fair. That's part of business.
It is. You never really know until you know. Like, people come on, they have a guard up or a facade up.
Yeah.
And then it'll wear down and you'll start to bicker a bit, and then you'll be like, shit, look where we got ourselves.
How have you guys kind of managed putting... Because you only got 2 sets of hands, man. Like, how do you manage putting everything into the right things? Like, there's promo, there's marketing. Like, how did you guys work out dispersing kind of that workload and going from there? Because obviously in the infancy stages, as it's growing, like, you're trying to do everything. But our premise is you can only do 1 to 2 things really well at once, right? So how have you been able to shift your time accordingly?
Well, I guess it started off kind of just like on pitch decks, you have to give each other titles, don't you? Like, you know, it's like, well, he's like the social media manager, and like he's this and that. I guess it kind of developed from there into various, we're different people, me and Bailey especially. Like, he's someone that's very like design orientated, like aesthetic orientated. So he loves all of the social media, like the graphics.
All that creative side.
Very creative minded. Whereas I'm
ones and zeros, bro.
It's binary. Speaks in code.
Yeah, and I guess so. I guess naturally that kind of let me take on the more kind of operational side of the business, kind of strategy side of it, and then Bailey does the social media and the product management, making sure that our app looks good. You know?
Oh, and speaking of social media, you guys, I feel like you have a big presence and you guys are consistent in what you do. What was it like building out a social media strategy? Because this is something that I've struggled with in my business. Because like,
and likewise,
I've gone times where like, I know I want to post like 2-3 months, and that moment that happens, you're done. Yeah, GG, so you're irrelevant.
We got quite a background on this. So I come to Sam in the schoolyard. I'm like, bro, let's start this. 2 days later, he comes to me, bro, let's start an Instagram account. So we were called BNE Cuts, and we did this. I was skeptical. I was like, bro, why would we have an Instagram account? We don't even have a product. And then he's like, bro, let's get a foot in the industry. Let's understand these people. Let's get our head around the industry. So we start off just reposting other barbers' work as like a promotional page for them for free, just putting more eyes on their accounts.
It was pretty dead, to be honest, but like we'd also have like quotes and stuff. Like we had like this nice little
grid,
checkerboard going.
Yeah, it looks so sick.
Like a quote and then something.
Dude, the quotes would be so stupid. Oh my, because like they would ChatGPT quotes, and like it was so bad. It'd be like,
your hair is the crown you never take off.
Like shit like that. We'd be posting that.
We'd be like,
shit.
yo, that's tough.
That's tough.
So we ran that the whole month of August. Dude, so many people were skeptical of a new thing. They're like, who's running this account? I was like, bro,
yeah, why
do you care? Like, I'm not even a barber, bro. I'm just promoting your work for free. Like,
that's right.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah,
but
facts.
Like, they keep asking. So after August, we ran that for the month of August. Radio silent on that. Probably should have kept going, but life got busy. Like formals, end of year, end of graduation, all that stuff. So Siebes posting a quote every other day.
ChatGPT was just running.
Like how many stupid hair quotes can you make, bro? Like, there's some disgraceful ones. But stopped on that. And then I think we picked up the Instagram account in February, would you say? Once it became Trybe, once it became something more tangible. And then we started posting. Massive social media engagement for pre-release, release. Shit, we fucked up. Radio silent for 2 months. No posts on social media. Big decision to make, because the reasoning was we have a shit app. We don't want eyes on our social media and downloads because we don't want to ruin first impressions with certain barbers. So I was like, let's cut it. Let's go radio silent. But because posting, as you know, is such an effort, bro, day in, day out.
Tell me about it.
Not having to do that was so good because we could preload so much content. Whilst the developers were developing that 2-month grace space, we were just filming athletes, filming all this stuff, and went back with a bang. Like, so much content. It was pretty good. Zero ad spend really this whole time because we just haven't had the funds for it. It's all been in development. But But I think we've done 500,000 views in the last 2 months across all platforms.
Wow.
One,
Half a milli.
yeah, one TikTok. One TikTok. It was an AFL Brisbane Lions player getting a haircut and just as an interview. One of those clips. It was a riddle question. It was like, your mum has 4 sons, north, south, east. What's the 4th son's name? And this bloke, this Lions player, was like, West. And he's like thinking about it for like 4 minutes. And he's like, your mum. And Jasper's like, my mum. Oh, fuck. Jasper.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that blew up, but that got like 250,000. So,
That's great.
yeah.
We kind of just used TikTok as the thing that we just dumped everything on, and then Instagram was like how selective kind of
content. Dude, I had this one run-in. So our Instagram handle is Trybe, and there's obviously we want the Trybe handle. So I search up who owns Trybe. Some like indie hippie festival thing in America that hasn't posted for 4 years. I go through all their contacts on LinkedIn, find like the back end of this business, text an American phone number. They text me back, hey bro, so like some really passive aggressive shit. They're like, yeah, well, I'm not actually interested in selling my handle and I plan on relaunching my business soon. It's like, bro, it's been 4 years.
Ain't no
Don't
way,
give me
bro.
that shit.
They're
Like,
doing that out of spite,
Yeah,
bro.
like,
I swear
come
down.
on. I was
Now you're gonna
so
be the freaking the
Yeah.
reason this festival blows up, bro.
we
They're
need
gonna
to-
do it as vengeance.
we need everyone to report the Trybe account, bro. Get that shit taken down.
Get it done.
Yeah, get them off. Get them off.
There you go. That's nuts. I think social media is a big part of
Massive.
what
Yeah.
people do, and I feel like you guys are definitely finding your feet, and it found your feet in kind of what you do. How have you found that, like filming content and going through it? Because sometimes it's draining. You know what I mean? Like Ealef and I, we filmed 2 episodes last Sunday, and we're like, damn, like I'm dead. I was home zonked, bro. You know what I mean? So what's that like?
Pretty boring sometimes. Like just we like to travel to locations that are scenic or whatnot, so we have a good backdrop, engaging backdrop for the video. We'll get there. Sometimes it'll take 5 hours out of our day going filming, and we won't even post those things because they end up bad or whatever. It's real draining. Like in-person content, like I can whip up a graphic on my computer for like just a story or a post in like 10 minutes, so that's fine. But when it's in-person filming and it's not something actually interesting like interviewing an athlete, it's just one of us in front of the camera speaking, it's like, bro,
It's tough.
so boring. But then I'll edit the videos as well, so I'll get home and jump on that. But I quite enjoy that. Like it's pretty easy work. Like you just sit there. It's just a process. It's not anything too strenuous.
Yeah, going on about like kind of jumping back to your question before about like social media. Social media is like your whole entire like face kind of like it's what everyone sees. Like besides the app itself, like social media is everything. And I guess when we went kind of radio silent in that time of like 2 months or so, like people kind of thought we'd just stopped. Like they thought it was like the end of Trybe. And so like people tried jumping on that.
Yep.
Like we had like
Some Melbourne Donny started up a similar thing, and then they've seen us come back and they've stopped.
No way.
Yeah, it was actually interesting to see. We're like, we saw them and we're like, all right, they're like, oh, actually, yeah, we saw that they went into our following.
Oh
and then
my days.
They followed
This rattles me.
They followed every single person we followed.
Dude, my cousin, I followed my cousin on the Trybe account, and this copycat followed my cousin. I'm like, bro, you
Nah,
don't know my
chill.
cousin,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
You've just gone
OG.
through my following and spam. He's not even a barber, bro. He's just some bloke.
nuts.
So I was like, that kind of gave me confidence that these guys weren't shit. Like,
Yeah.
you're just copying us word for word. So like, come on, get on your way.
Imitation's the best form
And
of
they
flattery.
seen us come back, and I've not heard shit.
That's great.
How do you overcome that sort of stuff? You know, we spoke a bit earlier about the copycats and whatnot, and just staying in your lane. Is it simple as that, just staying in your lane, or how do you guys overcome all that?
I'd be
Bit of-
heated, yeah.
A bit of, I feel like sometimes you got to be a bit passive aggressive and whatnot. So the first one that we had is funny as, so I was meeting the bloke that we shot another podcast with. I was meeting with him, and we get a text whilst we're waiting for him from this owner of this other app, and they were starting the exact same thing. So he's like, oh, I'd love to meet the Trybe team because he's Brisbane based as well. And we were like, sorry, we just got our heads in. We're about to launch. We'll get back to you post launch and like see if we can connect the time. So it's like passively aggressively wording your messages and whatnot, and being like, yeah, we're ahead of you. Like we got shit going on.
Yeah,
We can't
I
just,
feel you.
we can't just meet up with no one right now. So
Facts.
There was a pretty mad story with that one actually.
yeah,
Maybe we'll bleep out the name
Oh,
for it originally.
yeah,
but
well-
like anyway, I was just if you know,
Just call him Johnny,
Brisbane,
bro.
Yeah, call him Johnny. All right, I was down at the in the valley in Brisbane. If you know, that's where all the clubs
nightlife.
are and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I was at the Osborne Hotel and I was like just in the line, and then this dude just recognized me.
He's like-
and he was like, "Yo, are you from Trybe?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the guy from." And we were like, yo, what?
No.
So we just met him on a night out, and then
Yeah,
we
it's
like
funny,
throughout the
actually.
line, we were just having a chat about everything, and he was like a cool dude, you know.
He's
We're
good
like,
bloke, yeah,
hey,
yeah.
he was a chill dude, and so you know,
We met up with him eventually after that with
Yeah.
the whole team. He's a good bloke. Like he's doing his own thing now. He's nice as, but yeah, like you gotta kind of always play mind games with these people. Always.
I guess it's like, you know, if you're like a swimmer, you know, when you're staying in your own lane, like
Yeah.
instinctively you're gonna have like a little peek over the shoulder, you know, like you have to know what they're doing, I think, and it's important to keep an eye on them. It's just you don't want to act kind of radically based on what they're doing, and I think that's
You want to know you're there, so you feel that bit of pressure,
Yeah.
but it's not going to change the way you
Like,
run or the way you swim or anything.
When
like
we
that.
see these things, like there'll be people in the business being like, bro, let's drop now, let's do this update now, let's get back on social media now. But it's like, calm, just stay to the plan, it'll work out,
stick to the script.
which is what happened.
I appreciate that. I mean, like, I feel like it's important to be cautious, you know, like you do your own thing, but then it's also, you know, might be the fact of sort of seeing if something's working for them, maybe you can put it on for yourself as well.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing that it's, you know, reasonable to
Yeah.
attain. But in terms of the social media, what do you find is the most important thing for you guys? Is it the, you know, collaborations with influencers? Is it just consistent posting? Is it you guys' face? What is it for you
Yeah,
guys?
is it riddles?
Is it really Chat GPT quotes?
What's been most successful for us? I couldn't pinpoint, but it is just the consistency of posting whatever, but consistently. Like, of course, the athlete interviews were cool. I think we got some good reception by that because there's some barbers down here in Melbourne. There's one barber who is boys with the Broncos player that we cut
dope.
up. So that kind of, like, he's like, oh, that's sick. Like, and then we started engaging with him a bit more. So recognizable faces like influencers and whatnot is key. We just don't have that, the pockets aren't that deep right now to be fleshing out 10K on one influencer video. So we'll get there soon. But like right now we're doing a lot of just bootlegging, just free, like make entertaining shit by ourselves. We got away with all these interviews for free. Like that's just the power of networking, bro. Like getting to be able to just sit down with these professional athletes for an hour out of their day, give them a haircut, interview them, bang, 200,000 views. So like, yeah, just there's not a single thing that's been the best part of the content. Like some graphic posts will get more than the reels, more than the interviews.
It's hard to
But it's just posting.
I think just having like recognizable faces is massive. Like originally Fraser, you know, people in the industry know Fraser, and it was like automatically they were like, oh yeah, all right, this thing must be legit. And like that was kind of originally, you know, like what helps you kind of like start off is like, all right, they're actually legit.
That's
what you
crazy.
need.
It's crazy to think that one person and their like resume of social media, what people perceive them to be, is enough. Like, yeah, cool, they're cool. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
That's nuts. We're hoping that, you know, once people see Ealef here and you're like, oh, cool, like young barbers be like, yeah, these guys are cool, check them out. You know what I mean? It's crazy how social media works like that, but it is, as you said, bro, it's all people can really go off, man. But to kind of move on a little bit in this journey, what's been, you think, the most important lesson that you've learned individually? Not necessarily about business.
We was expecting this one coming. So we was having a talk about this the other day, about like, what's the biggest lesson? I've actually forgot my answer.
It couldn't have been that big,
pass
bro.
over this.
I forgot it as well. No,
Oh, I know what it is. Well, yeah, consistency.
yeah, no,
Just work ethic. Just do it. Like we're not special, bro. I can assure you, I'm just like a little Wally from high school, bro. Like I'm nothing special,
Well,
bro.
it's crazy. I never heard that in my
I
life.
love that.
Like I'm no better than anyone else. I have like average B grade. I'm not a smart kid per se, but it's just doing it. It's just going through the motions, doing it. But being said, like being the B student and now having the 99 A plus student under
Working for you,
you,
that's kind of tough.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's kind of tough.
Yeah. Biggest lesson is just do it day in day out. Do it, and you'll learn to love it.
I'd say networking is probably one of the biggest things. It's something that me and Bailey now love doing. I guess at the start it was always we were a bit like nervous, you know, kind of going up to people. We felt kind of young, kind of felt like we'd get judged a bit, but then now we just love going to like networking events. To be honest, anything. Like, have you heard of Get Ahead?
What's that?
It's a jobs app. They do like they interview people and they're like,
Tinder swiping job.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
they're like, yeah, what do you do? How much do you make and stuff like that. We just went to a Get Ahead event and we like met all like the founders there. It was like just, you know, it was just cool. You know, you meet people and eventually they can help you out, you know?
Yeah, like putting yourselves in those positions. Now I've got both founders' emails. The microphone dude who holds the mics in the interviews, if you've seen those clips, I've got his number and we're intending to film another interview with him as the main dude because, bro, like Get Ahead's there's such a success on social media. They've had probably millions of views. So that's another recognizable face that people know. And he can talk to these barbers about marketing because he is, in essence, a marketer. He knows what to say on camera, what to post, what to do. So we do like to also incorporate business-minded people into these interviews because, as you said, like Ealef, you own a business. You need to grow. You need to scale. So as much as having the athletes for client acquisition, so just general user downloads, that's cool and all. But providing real value to these barbers through giving them business-minded individuals, telling them about what they can do with their business to excel it is probably just as good.
Yeah, wow. So in terms of the networking, like I feel like, you know, it can be sometimes easier said than done, the whole concept of just do it, you know, because there's a lot of people out there that would feel quite anxious and quite sort of uncomfortable to go and put themselves out there to who it might be, even though it's going to be a really beneficial situation for them to be in. Is there any advice that you can give them to sort of overcome that feeling?
Do it.
You guys just do it.
I love it. I love it.
You have no other choice. It's like you're sitting at home with an idea, or you're putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation, sure, but it's more than an idea. Like, what do you want?
Just think about like what could happen from it, like the outcomes. The positives like far outweigh the negatives. Like the worst that could happen is they're like,
Say no to
yeah,
that.
not really interested in a chat, you know? Like, sick.
I'm trying to think of some instances where that's definitely happened to us. We've approached people. I swear it happened recently, no? Oh, no. Okay, so I was in Sydney this month, door knocking, bro, on barbers' houses, giving them information, giving them flyers. I like open one dude, and go to his crib, knock on his door, open up. He opens up. I'm like, hey, I'm from a new booking system. Nah, I've already got one, bro. I'm good.
Can we like bleep out the names here? I don't want to.
Yeah, we'll that pose. That's calm.
But yeah, and I walk away from that house like disheartened because dude, it's big barber. But like when you get knockbacks like that in person, it's harder than hearing stuff. So
Definitely.
I guess that's just sales though as well, isn't it? Like that's all you got to learn in sales.
Yeah.
I kind of come from a little bit of that background. I started off this year in real estate.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't have enough time to do anything in Trybe. So all I was doing was picking up the phone, calling people. Do you want to sell your house?
Yeah, it's similar.
You face 100 rejections a day, and it's like, all right,
You get used to it.
You get used to it. So I guess sales, like if I gave advice to someone, it'd be go into a little bit of sales or something at some point and just learn from it. You know, learn to be able to face rejection.
Yeah,
100%. Did I say that this is actually, you were talking about how business learnings correlate to real life learnings and growth. And dude, yesterday was the first time I like cold approached a chick in person. So like that's shit I never would have done before, having all these business rejections. Like sure, I got like told she had a boyfriend yesterday. Cool, like on your way. But like bro, like you actually learn to do stuff in the real world as well. It translates. Like, bro, I'd never do that. But like, I was like kicking myself, like, bro, like, what's the worst that can happen?
For real,
I've got a boyfriend. Have a nice day.
What is
the
worst?
Hey, bro, you might meet your future wife now because of that. Shout out, Trybe for giving you the confidence.
Dude,
that's dope.
it was some bloody like little Spanish Betty's Burgers worker, bro.
Oh, that's crazy. Yo went to be
Go approach the Betty's Burgers.
the one. That's great.
Nah, it's fair enough though. I mean, like, and even like, you know, on a deeper level, I feel like in terms of this whole sort of networking, putting yourself in an uncomfortable position, it's as deep as like, you don't want to have regrets, you know, like that whole concept of you don't want to be on your deathbed and you've got all these things, you know, above your head that you could have done, but then you didn't do nothing and then you're just full of regret. So yeah, I think it's important. And I really appreciate, you know, you guys, especially coming down here and putting yourselves out there and jumping on the pod and, you know, sharing your story. And, you know, I can't wait to, you know, even get you back on in the future, you know, sometime down the track.
5 years time, build that community and see you've got barbers everywhere and anywhere, you feel me? So kind of before we definitely kind of sign off and whatnot, I have one question for you guys. What is the one thing you're looking forward to most with the growth of Trybe? The one thing.
Seeing my company's logo on a building or something.
Tough.
Like that's why I always drive through the city, look up all these logos, like, bro, I need that.
Fire.
Give me a sec. I'm gonna think of
Now you're cooking. Is I?
That's a great bit of inspiration though. I mean, like, you know, you see all those big corporate companies and, you know, there's a magic behind the madness, you know what I mean? There's a face behind all that. So, you know, I love the vision.
On top of that, having a mate who has no idea I own Trybe, making a booking through Trybe because that's the norm.
That's tough.
Like that would be so sick.
That's tough.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it's just our vision, you know, we want to be like the preemptive face of barbering in Australia. Like,
It's
that's
easy
how
as
we
that.
want, you know, we want this thing to become massive, and we think the way that the industry is going into a more freelance direction, we think we can make it happen. So yeah, that's the goal.
You want to take it over. That's it.
That's
100%. And with that being said, like, I think you guys will make it happen, man. If you never wrote it on your hand and put it into action, it wouldn't be here. So kudos to you, because obviously, like, for those watching or listening, it's the first time we've met. It's the first time we've met in person, you know. But again,
like
it just came
before the pod.
Yeah, it was for real. But it came from just doing it, like you said, bro. Just like Nike, it makes sense. You got the Air Maxes on your feet, bro, because that's all you be doing, right? Like, you know what I mean? Just to put yourself in those situations and just to get it done. And there's so much ahead of you. But again, you have now a plethora of real life, real world experience, and in the grand scheme of business, you still so new, and you still only know so much. There's so much more you're gonna go. You know what I mean? Like, by the time you're 30, you're gonna be mentoring the next people on what to do what, and that's why for us, because our whole tagline is from the chair to the community, and you guys are trying to build a community. So definitely, like, the visions are aligned, and man, I'm just excited to see the growth in the business, but also you two as individuals, man. Because like you said, who knows what other, you know, Betty's Burger worker you're gonna be approaching and whatnot. But nah, man, how was it before we kind of officially sign off? What was it like, kind of being on your second, I guess, podcast, but like kind of, you know, the cameras, the mics, all of that.
Bro, it's sick. It's incredible. Like, I love all this equipment, all the lights and everything. I'll let Sammy speak, but we've got like a little notes app of funny stories if you want us to go over that before we sign off fully.
Oh, please dope. For sure. If you want to pick a...
Get out your notes, bro. Well, answer the question
What was
first.
the question again?
The first...
So, my bad.
Podcast, bro.
I told you, I got short-term memory.
What was it like being in the kind of the stew with the everything going on? Did you enjoy it?
It's awesome, and like, it just feels like a chat. Hey?
That's all it is, hey.
It is. It's just a chat.
100%. I bet before we officially sign off, give us some of the funny stories that you'll got on the notes app. I know you'll cooked it up.
We know the one funny one.
Okay, there's two. I'll start with Juno, and then we can go to...
I run them both.
First one was... Bro, me and Sam, two 18-year-olds, we reach out to design agencies to get branding work done. We walk into the consultancy, bro, absolute 10 sits us down. And just because she's a 10, we probably ended up spending like $6,000 at that agency. Like,
no.
We like kind of just got lured in by a pretty face and sold by a pretty face, and then their work was shit. And we like, yeah.
For real, what was that like?
Learning experience.
Yeah.
For real.
Don't get fooled by a pretty face. Like, don't get sold by a pretty face. But yeah, and then that did spiral into a relationship for one of the other people in the business. Crazy, eh?
What?
Yeah.
Maybe
Like-
it worked out then. Maybe the 6 grams were worth it.
So they're with them.
Yeah, all they were for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, dude, we just wingman them
then it
hard,
wasn't
bro.
worth
it.
We were like, oi, you got to get in here.
Bro,
mate."
a $6,000 wingman is insane,
I know.
bro. That's nuts.
They're still going now?
No. She
Nah.
moved over to Europe, so had to cut that one.
It is
but,
what it is. What it is. That's tough.
Yeah.
I hate how they know like exactly who they are. Like, they're just like listening to this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, there's no secrets, bro.
It is what it is.
Yeah. You jump into this. This one's so.
Oh,
so
dude, I reckon this could be like top 10, just like pitching failures of all
Run
time.
it. I'm excited. Go for
We're
it.
not gonna name the names, although if we did name the name,
It doesn't matter, bro. It's a VC firm, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I will say,
and it's not their fault. It's our fault. For
first
what happened.
their name was the Brisbane Angels, right?
Okay.
Great people, I'm sure. Me and Bailey sat this one out, right?
Yeah.
We were like, we'll let the big dogs, kind of like, run
The
this.
adult faces run this.
And so we set up the computers because Bailey's setting up the computer for his dad and stuff. And oh no, it wasn't. It was not
Yeah.
the other person in the business. Anyway, can you go?
I got this. I got this in the back of my head. All right, so the essence of Brisbane Angels is you have a 2 minutes to pitch. Like
Two.
and they have
10.
no.
2 minutes.
Oh, okay, maybe 10. Maybe I'm
All
right.
right, 2 minutes is wild.
Yeah. So, but they have like all these businesses preloaded on the calls and they just shuffle them through. Oh, so we were getting ready and then old mate joins in the call. He's greeted by like 5 to 10 of the representatives. And he can't speak. So like the mics weren't working. So we start panicking. I bring over he's screen sharing the pitch deck on that computer where the mic's not working. I bring over a new computer, log him in, has the mic working and all. And then I'm trying to remember this. And then, so he pushes the other computer to the side. And then when he pushed that other computer to the side so he could speak on this one, the camera was still there. And me and Sam were in the background dapping each other up because we saved the day. We were like going, yes, bro, we saved that. I got that back. And then Charlie realizes and he goes to shut that computer and we rush over and the last thing they see is like me dive for him to keep the computer open because that's where the pitch deck was being shared from. But he closed it because he saw that they saw us just dapping each other up and be like, bro, we saved the day.
Damn.
So, and then, that was just absolute calamity of a pitch. Oh my days.
We weren't surprised to get
No,
turned
definitely.
down.
Yeah, so I was about to say, so you ain't get no money.
Definitely not. Oh my.
Two learning experience.
So
Yeah, that's all it is. They're learning experiences, bro. Now you know.
Call them the Brisbane Demons after that one.
Ain't no angels. That's tough.
And
That's tough.
they were like some old grey hair, like Karen-y people, bro.
Yeah.
So like whilst we were shitting the bed, bro, they weren't helping. Like
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it wasn't a good mix.
They
It
were
was like some
entertaining.
like 60-year-old like grey hair lady just like, oh come on, doing that shit. So he was like, damn.
You gotta watch out. For
He's on one ankle, hold you.
You gotta watch out.
He's kept it real, bro. That's how it's meant to be, bro. That's how it's meant to be. But nah, dope. That's and I'm sure you're gonna have even more stories and more stories and more stories. And like I said, we're just part of this journey, man. So
Definitely.
yeah, man, it's been pretty dope to have you guys on board. If there's any other final words you want to leave us on, I felt like everybody said there's one more piece of advice. You're just gonna say, just do it. But I'll open the floor if you guys want, any last words, because a lot of our listeners are kind of younger, like 15, 16, and do have aspirations of starting a business and do have an idea and do have all that, and they've heard Ealef and I only so many times speak. So yeah,
definitely. And I feel like, you guys, Bailey and Sam, being both, 18, 19, it's, quite tailored to, I guess, our viewers as well, being our first sort of youngest guests on the pod.
Yeah.
So I feel like, our audience will definitely be able to get a lot of value from this, because a lot of, especially my clients as well that I speak to, they're in a rut, they don't know what to do when they finish school and stuff like that. So I hope that this gives them a bit of direction as well.
Yeah. Beyond just do it, find a mate and do it with them.
it's tough.
Yeah, I'd say, obviously, behind the just do it, one of the reasons I'd say just do it is success or not success. The amount of fun, the amount of stories you'll end up with, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's always worth it.
I always say to Sam, bro, if this failed today, it's still been so fun.
Yeah, it's a dub.
So fun. Like, I would not change anything about starting
Bro,
this.
100%. Whatever happens from this point on, whether Trybe takes over,
It's just bonus, really.
100% takes over this country, takes over the states, whatever it is, you all have just learned so many real life lessons and experiences that you're going to take into the next venture and the next venture and the next venture. Because you guys are 18, and once Trybe does take over the country and the world, it's from there, and you guys are starting something else. And who knows, you guys might be the VC firm that's freaking dealing with young
that's
kids.
in the roadmap, bro.
That's the
We
roadmap.
want to start a VC firm.
There you see what I'm saying, man. It's all cooking.
What are your thoughts on the name? I say no BS investments because I'm Bailey and Sam. No bullshit investments.
I don't mind that.
I like that. And I like that because I feel like it's risky, and that's that's this sort of environment, that's the way society's going. They want to see some stuff that's going to really
No
test
BS.
the boundaries.
Yeah.
I like that. No BS. See, I like that name. Cuts, bit dead, but no BS. That's tough. You redeemed yourself with that one. But nah, it was a pleasure having you boys on, man, and we really appreciate you guys making the trip and making the time out. But yeah, in the cut from the chair to the community, episode 9 in the books.
Join the tribe.
Good job, fellas.
Join the tribe,
go.
boys.